So here I am again, another video blog. And this time I'm not the only one blogging. A lot of people around the world seem to be doing the same thing, which is amazing. So it's day one of the official lockdown in the UK. And ooh, wow, what a journey. What a journey. I've been self-isolated for a week. Me and my flatmate at home. He's in his room doing his thing. I have been in like 98% of the time. I went for a walk in the woods 3 days ago with Layla and Rico, which was really nice. Yeah, I mean, right, so I have literally been dealing with the worst anxiety of my life. I'm somebody that deals with mental health problems, so yes, it's another tackle. However, I have to say, depression and anxiety are two very different things. Very. And I know I might seem very calm right now, but I have taken so many calming tablets because I've been in a dangerous place. For the past week, if not a little bit more, I have been visited, I want to say daily, but it's more like hourly, by anxiety. And I have always been really active with tackling my mental health. I use meditation daily, and I have done for a while. I go outside and take long walks in nature, helps me a lot. I have an amazing support network of the most beautiful sisters and friends. I'm really lucky. I'm really, really lucky. I have a lovely home. So, like, through all this, being stuck inside is not an issue for me. Like, I'm quite a recluse anyway, so I like my own company and kind of being in my space. But I just kind of want to talk about a little bit about my anxiety and the journey, because, like I said, it's had me in a really dangerous place. And I've never been there before. Like, not with like this intense, you know. And I'm learning a lot through this, like so much. So, for years, I smoked and drank weed and alcohol. And in the beginning of the year, I stopped smoking. And I've stopped smoking before, but this time it hit me a little bit differently. I was dealing with extreme anxieties, but managing them best I could. But I was also suppressing, I wasn't processing my anxiety. And this virus outbreak it brought anxiety to me on a whole nother level. It made me realise that and actually have to accept that I do have certain imbalances. I think I'm learning that they're chemical imbalances in the body because of the way my brain works. I've always been very analytical and very I overthink a lot. My mind has been running away with me like something crazy. Um, so like without it feeling like an excuse, about a year and a half ago, I fell down whilst drinking alcohol, and I was from a height, and I woke up in hospital, and I actually bust my head wide open. You can hardly see the scar now, which is really good. But I was saying to people from when it happened, like, I feel different. And they'd say, how? What kind of different? And I had to explain to a lot of people, I can't really explain it. Like, it's hard to explain. Now, I really hope that's my delivery. Oh. It was not my delivery. It was my road tax letter from the DVLA. So, I can't even remember where I was now. I should really have run off. I should have carried on with what I was saying. But yeah, used to tell people I feel different after my accident, and they'd ask me how, and it was really hard to explain. I can't explain it. I just say, I don't know. I just feel a bit different. And since this has all happened, now this is the third time I've been making video blogs, because part of the process when I've felt myself going through a major dip or obstacle with my mental health is, apart from the meditation and the walking and the exercise, and I've also been making video blogs. So this time, with like the immense pain, it feels like I've wanted to like rip off my skin to escape. You know, there's been, like I say, really dark moments where I've thought of the most awful things. Anyway, that being said, I used to go to church of my own accord. It wasn't like a family thing. It was just because I was having like my spiritual awakening, and that's how it happened. And then after like a few years of going into church, I stopped, and I kind of went off on my own and started like understanding my spirituality on a different level, what it means to me, and kind of pushed religion away because I see it as a man-made concept controlled. That's what I used to say. It's a man-made concept made by man, used to control the masses with manipulation from fear. Now, that being said, like having reverence for earth, for life, for other humans, trying to be as compassionate as I knew how to be, and also trying to preserve myself and be compassionate to myself. And, you know, like life is difficult and challenges come up, and I've made loads of mistakes. And I tend to be my worst punisher. I punish myself, or I have punished myself worse than most people would punish me, because emotional, self-emotional punishment can be an awful thing. So anyway, that being said, I prayed this morning for the first time in a long time. A long time. And it was like this humbling experience. And it may have been fear that brought me to that place, but I managed to get some sleep after praying, which I haven't been able to do. So since I had my accident, I stopped eating meat and dairy. I stopped drinking caffeine. I've stopped smoking weed. I don't drink alcohol anymore. I stopped abusing my body as much. Like, I'm not in sexual relationships. I'm not in sexual anything. I've literally had like sex 3 times since August 2018. Yeah. And I felt as though it was just something quite natural that was happening. I just didn't want it. What I've realised is that change that happened, something that happened. So this is the front left lobe that I was told I had bleeding and swelling on when I woke up. That they was taking me for scans, CT scans, and another kind of scan. And there's a part of the brain called the amygdala, I think it's called, which is like in the center, which is responsible for fight or flight. And so 3 times now since my accident, I have a little bit of OCD. 3 times since my accident, I have actually had like very severe bouts of mental health attacks, and it all stems from the anxiety and adrenaline rush caused by that part of my brain. And last night I was watching, or was it this morning? Last night or this morning I was watching. God, I haven't touched my face this much in over a week. I'm definitely relaxed off these pills. They worked, guys, by the way, can I just say. So I'm not sure if I should be combining them, but I did because I just literally was to the point where I don't care. I don't care. Oh, and by the way, I used to use weed to like escape my thoughts, and I tried. No. The THC part rose my heartbeat whilst having anxiety. If you've got anxiety, weed is not for you. THC, I found out this morning, raises your heartbeat. It's the CBD that reduces the angst and the stress. I actually had some CBD oil as well, which is why I might be super relaxed too. Now I can still feel it a little tiny bit, just a tiny bit. But I've just done some meditation and it helps. And like I say, I've got Calms and also these Be Calm. These are Superdrug brand and they are actually stronger than the branded ones. I much prefer them, to be totally honest. Anyway, yeah, so I was watching a program on Netflix called The Mind Explained, and it was basically saying about the amygdala part of the brain being responsible for the fight or flight, and then the front part, funny enough, the front left lobe is the part that then rationalizes and draws that back, and so it takes back away from the pressure of that part. Now I think I put some of the pieces of the puzzle together that when I hit my head, all these things began happening after, and when I have these sudden bouts of fight or flight, adrenaline rushes, it takes me a very long time, I'm talking weeks, to like bring myself back down. It feels like hell on earth. It's awful. And with this virus outbreak as well, it's like you can't control that. I can't control it. So I've been trying so hard. I've been trying like, like I clean a lot. You can see like this is almost finished. Like, um, yeah, I've almost become a little bit obsessed with the cleaning side of things, and I've needed to relax. And I'm realizing I can't control, and I know I can't control everything because no one can control everything, but it's like how I love my forest sounds, they really relax me. Um, how do you know what you're supposed to, how much control are you supposed to have to feel safe? And actually, part of what I'm learning, I think, is how to let go of control. Um, Control gives you this sense of security, what it does for me. But I've been so anxious and stressed like never before that I was gargling with apple cider vinegar, lime, and Himalayan salt a couple times a day. To one point, I just literally just started knocking the apple cider vinegar back and gargling it, burning off my incense like I do normally, but like maybe a little bit more. And it started to dry out my throat. That then in turn got me more anxious, and I was like, oh my god, this is it, I've got the virus. And yeah, it just had a vicious cycle. So last night it really started to dry out, and I panicked. I've been doing like nasal rinses. I've been doing the most. And like I say, I eat so healthy every morning. I like make a fresh smoothie shake with like loads of different supplements in it and fresh herbs and roots. And my friends always say like I'm the healthiest person that they know. But even still, I'm like, in my head, I'm convinced I'm not healthy. And I'm starting to see the pattern of the psychological pattern of it. Is it self-esteem? Is it, I don't know. Who knows what it is? I'm starting to figure it out. But one thing I'm realizing about this quarantine and this lockdown is that I'm being forced to face my demons. I shouldn't even call them demons. My personal struggle. And it's hard. Ooh, it's hard. Like this is the calmest version of me. in what feels like forever. Because the thing with that anxiety feeling is that knot inside that just kind of just turns and turns and turns. You can't escape. You cannot escape. It's like torture. It's hell on earth. It's horrific. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. But it's making me very compassionate towards other people that may have been going through similar things. People that I maybe brushed off a little bit. Now I have a personal understanding. Like, on anxiety, I had depression, and that was something that I was working through for a long time, and I probably still will. However, it comes in bouts, and I'm thinking maybe the anxiety does too. I don't really know yet. But one thing I do know is that I think it's so detrimental to our health, immune system wise. It's important to be compassionate to ourselves. I've used Difflam spray, this stuff, to kind of numb the pain, because the pain was a constant reminder, which then triggered my anxiety, which then made my pain worse. Really vicious cycle back and forth. So I'm just like managing it. I'm trying to not allow myself to be convinced that this is the virus. It's just a sore throat. I was breathing in like a lot of incense. It could just be loads of things. And even if it was the virus, I'm young, I'm healthy. It would just be like getting the flu. I just hate being ill. And a big thing as well is like, even though I spend a lot of time on my own, if I was having episodes of depression or anxiety in the past, I could get in my car and go somewhere, go to see my loved ones, spend time around people, my nieces and nephews, who bring me so much joy. Even when I'm still experiencing horrible feelings inside, I could always kind of distract myself a little bit, enough to not have it be overwhelming. Can't do that now. I have to deal with this myself. And as I was praying this morning, I realised when all this is over, I'm going to be so different. I don't know how different. I do know that I want to have a life of service in regards to humanity. I want to help help people. I have downloaded a beginner's course in herbalism, which I've started studying, and I'm going to continue through the lockdown. I don't know how it's going to pan out. But I know how much it's made me realise how much I love the people in my life. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. You know, I've chose to keep the most beautiful beings around me who have helped uplift me. They're gorgeous. I love them all so much. These are compassionate tears because they're so beautiful. There's like this part of me that says, I want to give up all of this, my home, things, none of that stuff matters. It's just stuff. I feel like my job, I love doing hairdressing. I love being a hairdresser. I love meeting people and having that avenue of being able to connect with people. But there's part of me that says I want to give it all up and go and live on a monastery or serve the land. I want to help the planet. I mean, this is such an amazing thing. Like, the ozone layer is fixing itself. Animals have come out of like places and gone to places where they've never, well, they was before, but that humans kicked them out of. Like, the earth is replenishing, and it's amazing. Yeah, I think learning about who we are as a human race and the implications that we have on the way that as a world we've been living, the way that we treat the earth, the rest of the life on this earth, the animals. It's been taken for granted so long. And this is a massive, massive wake-up call. So I'm kind of torn at this point, but do you know what? I was going to say, I'm torn between whether or not I want to leave all of this behind and go to start something new. But then I don't, because I don't want to leave the amazing life that I have. My sisters, they're so beautiful, all of them. The ones that my parents gave me and the ones that I found for myself. Beautiful women. But you know, there's so many like spiritual teachings and things that we need to process and go through at this time in order to come out better on the other side. And part of my journey is logging my process via a video blog. So there's my day one. Hey, hang in there, guys. hold on and love yourself and love others. You need more compassion. Everybody needs compassion. Let's be strong for each other, because I might not necessarily feel like I've got myself through this. I feel like those around me have helped me. They're the ones that have gave me strength when I didn't have strength. And I felt like it was the end for me. They picked me up. And they've loved me more than I've been able to love myself. And I think we need to love each other more. God. And you know what? I'm not no more ashamed of being crying because I'm made to feel like I shouldn't. I should be strong. Or because you cry is attention seeking. It's not. It's processing emotions. And we need to push for more freedom of expression, more freedom of love, more compassion. Video blog day one. One and done.